So you feel like you don't have time. I get it because I felt the same way. I used to feel like I didn't have time, but looking back now, I actually wasn't getting that much done. I spend a lot of that time procrastinating. So like when I'd get up in the morning, I spend half an hour to an hour on Instagram. And then when it came to actually doing work, I'd spend time procrastinating in between tasks. Like I'd be catching up on a group chat. Because of the time that I spent procrastinating, anything that I was doing, like just from getting up in the morning to doing actual work, those jobs would feel longer just because of the time that I was wasting. I was being inefficient. Those things felt like they were taking longer. I then felt like I didn't have time to do things that I actually wanted to do, like going to the gym and taking care of my health. But if I look back now and compare myself now to back then, now I feel like I've got so much more time and I'm getting more done. And that's all because I've took back control. So before you take back control, you have to hold yourself accountable. You have to be honest with yourself. You first have to admit that you're not spending time as productively as you think you are. Like, if you can be honest with yourself, that's when you can make changes. If you just say, I'm busy, full stop, there's no room to improve. Then losing weight, gaining muscle, or doing other things that you want to do, you're never going to have time for. You're busy. That's it, simple as that. You can just carry on existing how you're existing. There's no room to improve now. To avoid that, just admit that you can make time. Before you do anything, admit that you can make time. And now that you've admitted that you can make time, you can self-reflect and actually choose where you want to spend it. So to help you do that, I've come up with 3 steps. Prioritize, time restrain, and make a routine. The first step, prioritize. What I want you to do is list everything that you currently do. From scrolling on your phone to cooking to watching TV to riding on your bike to playing football to going to the gym. Write down everything. In that list, include the things that you want to do as well. Like say you're not going to the gym currently. Write that down in your list too. This is a list of things where you are spending time and where you want to spend time. And once you've got that list, order it. Order it from the most important to the least important. So for me, in that ordered list of where I want to spend my time and where I am spending my time, somewhere at the top would be working out and eating clean. Towards the bottom will be things like watching a movie. It's just not a priority for me. It's not something that I find important. Step 2, time restraint. So once you've got your list of where you want to spend your time and you've ordered it, I want you to go through each task, go through each item in that list and write down how much time, the most amount of time you want to spend on each item. So for me, let's just use the top 4 things: work, working out, eating clean, and time with family. For work, I'd spend 4 hours. Working out, I'd spend 2 hours. Eating clean would be another 2 hours, including cooking and actually eating. Then family time would be an hour. But the time that you assign to each item in that list, I want you to make that time, that deadline very tight. Because let's say I only have 4 hours to do work. I don't have time to procrastinate. Because if I do, I won't get my to-do list done for today. And that would add on to my to-do list for tomorrow. Then the day after that, then the day after that. It will just keep piling up. So I have to get my work done. Or let's say I only have 2 hours to spend in the gym. I can't spend my time there on my phone or chatting to everyone else if I want to get my workout done when it comes to doing weights and my cardio. It's setting these tight deadlines that breed productivity. So now you have your list of where you spend your time and where you want to spend your time. You've ordered that list and you've given each item in that list a time restraint. Now what I want you to do is, using that list, create a daily routine. And the way to order that routine is by using your list of priorities. So like for me, work, working out and eating clean are like the top 3. So I'd start my day by doing work. Mornings are for work. Then for me, afternoons are for working out. Then in the evenings, I'd spend time with family. That was the fourth thing. Because the third thing, eating clean, is something that you have to break down and spread throughout the day. And you also have to factor in, when you're creating your routine, time in between tasks. You have to factor in things like travel time and prep time. And then as you're building your routine, you'll find that you won't have time to do everything on your list. And that's a good thing. That's the whole point. You end up doing things that are high priority. Your routine is designed for the things that you prioritize. Work, working out, and eating clean. Those are the priorities. Things like, for me, watching TV and scrolling are so far down on that list, they don't even make it onto my routine because I don't have the time for it. So like if you followed these steps, if you've listed everything you do in a day, ordered that list, gave each item in that list a time restraint, and then transformed that into a routine, you'd have a routine that prioritizes the things that you prioritize. So like now, if you actually follow that routine, you'd get up in the morning and start working straight away instead of getting up in the morning and scrolling. That's not on your routine. It's not even made it onto your day. There's no time to procrastinate because my routine is so packed. And at first, being that structured and rigorous won't feel natural because you're used to being a bit more flexible with your time. But eventually, just give it a couple weeks, that routine will feel natural and you feel like you're maximizing your day. You feel like you're using your day as best as you could because you're doing the things that you find important. The key is just to stop thinking. And once you have your routine, follow it through day after day. Just keep following it. Stop thinking. Like I said, it won't feel natural at first. It'll be an uphill climb, but you have to push past that discomfort. It's like with anything that you start, anything new that you start, you have to get the ball rolling. But to get that ball rolling, you have to force it at first. You have to push it along. Eventually, it's going to gain momentum and that ball is going to roll by itself. Once you get that ball rolling, you'll enter flow state. Things just happen. You're following your routine. You're doing things that you prioritize. You're being productive. You're making your life better. And you feel like you have time to do the things that actually matter. The things that were holding you back before, procrastination and overthinking, don't even exist anymore. So essentially, by following that 3-step process and being accountable and following along with your routine after you've gone through the 3-step process, you're going to be aligning your time with your priorities. So you're going to feel like you're making the most out of each day.